From Himmel's last adventure to the First-Class Mage Exam, we are taking a full journey through Season 1 of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. The story opens at the end. The hero party, Himmel the hero, Heiter the priest, Eisen the warrior, and the elven mage Frieren, return to the royal capital after a 10-year quest. They've slain the Demon King and brought peace to the world. While the humans celebrate, Frieren barely bats an eye. To an elf who lives for thousands of years, 10 years is nothing, literally less than 1/100th of her life. She promises to show them the error meteors again in 50 years and wanders off to collect magic spells alone. 50 years flash by. Frieren returns looking exactly the same, but Himmel has aged into a small, gentle old man. They reunite with Heiter and Eisen for one last adventure to see the meteors. Shortly after, Himmel passes away peacefully. It's only at the funeral that the weight of time hits Frieren. She realizes she never really tried to know Himmel, dismissing their time together as only 10 years. Regret becomes her catalyst. She decides to embark on a new journey, to get to know humans better.
私はもっと人間を知ろうと思う。
20 years later, she visits Heiter. He tricks her into deciphering a grimoire for immortality, which is actually a ruse to get Frieren to train a war orphan he adopted named Fern. Frieren teaches Fern magic for years until Heiter passes away. And Fern, now a prodigy mage, joins Frieren on her travels. Their journey begins with a lesson in memory. In the Turk region, Frieren spends 6 months searching for the blue moon weed, a flower Himmel once said he loved. Though Fern grows impatient, calling it a waste of time, Frieren persists. Upon finding the flower at the top of a tower, Frieren recalls that Himmel didn't just like the flower, he wanted to see it with her. She weaves the flowers into a wreath and places it on Himmel's statue, a quiet act of honoring the bond she is only now beginning to understand. Along the way, they unseal Quol, the creator of Zoltraak, a killing magic that once devastated humanity. But here's the kicker. In the 80 years Quol was sealed, humans analysed his spell, built defences against it, and turned it into standard offensive magic. Frieren and Fern obliterate him using his own technique.
Zoltraak.
It's a brutal lesson in how human innovation outpaces demons. In the trade city of Worm, realising she knows nothing about her new apprentice's tastes, Frieren clumsily gifts Fern a butterfly design hair ornament for her birthday. It is a small but genuine step toward connecting with the person standing right in front of her. They eventually find Eisen, who is now too old to fight. Instead, he points them toward the notes of Frieren's master, the legendary great mage Flamme, hidden deep within the Vol Basin. It turns out Flamme predicted this exact moment a millennium ago. Frieren uncovers her master's ancient writings, which describe a place called Aureole, or heaven, where souls rest. Flamme claims she was able to speak with her fallen comrades there. This place is located in Ender, the very same region where the Demon King's castle stands. This gives Frieren a clear destination for the first time, a chance to speak to Himmel again. But they need a vanguard. Eisen points them toward his apprentice, Stark. We find him in a village threatened by a solar dragon. Stark seems cool, but he's actually terrified, a coward who stood his ground only because he was too scared to run. But Frieren sees his potential. With some encouragement, Stark slays the dragon solo, proving he has the strength of a warrior, even if he lacks the confidence. The new trio, Frieren, Fern, and Stark, arrives at Graf Granat's domain, only to find demons inside the city acting as peace envoys. These are the executioners of Aura the Guillotine, one of the 7 sages of destruction. Frieren immediately tries to blast them, getting herself thrown in jail. She knows the truth. Demons are monsters that mimic human speech to deceive their prey. The demons, led by Lugner, reveal their true colours quickly. While Frieren breaks out of jail and kills an assassin named Drat in the process, Fern and Stark have to defend the town. This is a massive level up moment. Fern engages Lugna in a high-speed magical shootout, proving she can cast spells faster than he can react. Stark takes on Linny, a demon who mimics Eisen's moves, and he tanks a massive axe strike to deliver a fatal blow. But the main event is Frieren versus Aura. Aura uses the Scales of Obedience. She weighs her mana against her opponents. The loser becomes her eternal puppet. Aura has lived 500 years and has massive mana reserves. She thinks she's already won. But Aura made a fatal mistake. We learn that Frieren's master, the legendary human mage Flamme, taught her to constantly suppress her mana to deceive demons. Frieren has been limiting her output for over 1,000 years. When Frieren releases her restraints, her mana towers over Aura's. It's not even close. Frieren takes control of the demon's body and delivers one of the coldest lines in anime history.
Aura. 自害者.
And just like that, a Sage of Destruction is gone. Heading further north, the party braves a harsh winter. They meet Kraft, an elf monk even older than Frieren, who seeks the goddess's praise so his deeds aren't forgotten. It's a quiet reminder of the loneliness of immortality. As the party reaches the village of the sword in the northern lands, a quiet truth about Himmel is revealed. We learn that the legendary sword of the hero, the weapon destined to kill the Demon King, was never actually pulled by Himmel. He failed to dislodge it from the rock 80 years ago. Despite this rejection by destiny, Himmel didn't falter. He told Frieren that he would simply defeat the Demon King with a replica sword, forcing the world to acknowledge him as a real hero, regardless of a prophecy. In the Altwoods, they recruit Sein, a talented but corrupt priest who loves gambling, booze, and older women. He joins temporarily to find his childhood friend, Gorilla. During their travels with Sein in the Rard region, when Stark scrambles to find a birthday gift for Fern, he unknowingly selects a silver bracelet with a mirrored lotus design. Sein reveals that, in the language of flowers, it signifies eternal love. Though accidental, Fern accepts the weight of the meaning. For Frieren, that specific flower unlocks a buried memory. She realizes she possesses a ring with the same mirrored lotus design, a gift Himmel gave her long ago, but discovers it has gone missing following a monster attack on their carriage. She spends her nights searching the forest for it, eventually securing a spell to track it down. Upon finding it, she recalls Himmel kneeling to place it on her finger. A gesture of devotion she didn't comprehend at the time. Sein brings much-needed adult maturity to the group, mediating fights between Stark and Fern. But eventually leaves to follow his friend's trail to the trading city of Tyr. To enter the Northern Plateau, the party needs a First-Class Mage certification. They arrive in the magical city of Oisurst for the exam. This arc introduces a ton of new characters. The first test? Capture a stile, a bird that flies faster than sound and is hypersensitive to mana. Frieren teams up with two bickering mages, Kane and Lavine. Instead of chasing it, they use strategy. Kane restricts the bird's water sources with magic, while Frieren suppresses her mana to become invisible. When the bird lands on her shoulder, she secures it instantly with a simple folk spell. But it's immediately snatched by Lofen, a mage from Denken's party using high-speed magic. Frieren counters by defeating the veteran mage Denken in a duel, using him as leverage to lure Laufen out. When Laufen returns to save him, Frieren captures her and steals the bird back. With the bird secured, Frieren executes her final move. She analyzes and shatters the exam's massive defensive barrier. This allows rain to flood the arena, giving her water mage teammate Kane the advantage needed to defeat their remaining opponent, Richter. By sunset, only 6 parties remain, totaling 18 mages. Frieren's party passes. Fern's party also succeeds. Fern advances alongside the dangerous Eubel and the clone user, Land. Despite their defeat in battle, Denken's party manages to steal a bird from another group at the last second, allowing Denken, Richter, and Lofen to pass. Eubel makes it through with his teammates Aureole and Scharf. They are joined by 2 other teams who also survive the cult. The second test takes place in the ruins of the king's tomb. The boss here is a Spiegel, a monster that creates perfect clones of the intruders. The final obstacle? A perfect replica of Frieren herself. Inside the ruins, Fern asks why Frieren is so knowledgeable about the dungeon's layout. Frieren attributes this expertise to Himmel, who possessed an obsessive habit of exploring every single corner of a dungeon map before moving on. She recalls Himmel telling the party that the true fun of an adventure isn't just in saving the world, but in enjoying the wonder. To defeat the clone, Frieren realizes she has to fight it herself to create an opening. We get a spectacular battle of attrition, but the key to victory comes from a keen observation by her apprentice. It is actually Fern who reveals Frieren's fatal vulnerability, the fact that her mana detection cuts out for a split second the moment she casts a spell. Fern, who specializes in speed, capitalizes on this. She snipes the clone with Zoltraak, proving that the student has stepped out of the master's shadow. They destroy the Spiegel and pass the second test. The final test is a one-on-one interview with Serie, the head of the Continental Magic Association, and the mentor of Frieren's master, Flamme. She fails almost everyone based on intuition. When Frieren walks in, Serie offers Frieren one chance to pass, to name her favourite spell. Frieren answers, the spell to produce a field of flowers. Serie immediately fails her, dismissing the spell as useless and rejecting Frieren for lacking the ambition she values. Frieren accepts the rejection but offers a rebuttal. She explains that this useless spell is invaluable. Not only was it Flamme's favourite, but it was the very magic that first connected her to Himmel when he was a lost child, ultimately leading to the Demon King's defeat. But Fern is different. She notices the slight fluctuations in Serie's seemingly limitless mana, something no one else could see. Serie is impressed and offers to make Fern her apprentice. Fern instantly refuses, stating she is Frieren's apprentice.
私はフリーレン様の弟子です。
Ironically, this earns her a pass. She is joined by 5 others, the veteran Denken, who passes for his judgment in recognizing he couldn't beat Serie, Eubel, who passes on instinct, and Verbal, whose view of magic as a killing tool delights Serie. Méthode passes simply because she thinks Serie is cute, and Land succeeds for the sheer audacity of never actually showing up. He sent a clone to the exam while sipping tea at home. The prize for passing is a special privilege granted by Serie. As a living grimoire, she can bestow any single spell a mage desires, a reward often compared to having a dream granted. In the end, Fern uses this incredible privilege not for destructive power, but for a legendary folk spell that makes clothes spotless, a humble choice that marks the beginning of the new era of humans. As the season concludes, the mages go their separate ways. Denken heads home to visit his wife's grave. Verbal returns to the frontier to continue his fight against the demons. Frieren, Stark, and the newly certified Fern leave Oysirst. As they depart, Fern points out that Frieren's goodbyes are always short and dry. Frieren recalls Himmel telling her that tearful goodbyes are embarrassing when you inevitably meet again.